Hello, so in this screencast, we're going to talk about how to set up a payment processor and how to create a contribution page, along with some of the things that you should know about contributions. So to get started, we need a way to be able to take in money from our constituents and from people who want to donate money to us. Because this is just a class, we're not actually going to be handling any money, but luckily CiviCRM builds in a way for you to play around in a safe and non-monetary environment. If you actually build a CiviCRM database for one of your clients or for an organization that you're working with, you're going to have to explore options about payment processors. A payment processor is a service that basically bridges people's wallets to your bank account. So things like Google Checkout, Stripe, PayPal, all of these things are ways that people can spend money over the internet. Again, this is just a class, so we're going to use the dummy payment processor. Once you're out in the field, you're going to have to find out some of these things for yourself. So for now, we'll just go into the CiviCRM dashboard. And to establish a payment processor, you go to Administer, System Settings, Payment Processors. There's nothing there yet, so let's add a payment processor. Here are the ones that they support. We're just going to go with dummy payment processor. We'll just call it something generic, dummy processor. So this name and description, these are, if you were making a contribution page or including ticket prices in an event page, then Civi is going to ask you how are people going to be able to pay for this. And so you can have multiple different ways of, like multiple different payment processors set up on your site. That's more advanced stuff. Just for now, we're using the dummy. So description, it's dumb. Financial accounts, this is something to kind of talk about with the accountant or the financial person at your nonprofit. Right now, we're just going to call it deposit bank account. This is something for accounting. It'll keep track of where this is going. Yes, it's active. Yes, it's the default. Let's see if we can get by not writing anything there. Okay, you have to. Username. We're just making something up here. Now this should go in the test. We save it. Alright, so now we're ready to actually make a contributions page. So of course you go to contributions, new contribution, or new contribution page. What we're going to do is set up a donation page, just a generic donation page for this website. That's the most straightforward thing. So we'll call it donate to ice cream for peace. That's the nonprofit that is imaginary for this site that I created. It'll be a donation as opposed to a campaign contribution. These are personal campaigns. They're like, oh, we're trying to get to X amount of dollars by Friday the 13th, so please dig deep. Event fees are just what it sounds like if you were creating an event, like a workshop or an ice cream social, then people would be able to pay via your event page. Membership dues, if you are an organization that has people who must pay a yearly or monthly fee to be members of it, then that's what you would use. But this is just a donation page, so we're classifying this as a donation. So would we like to allow individuals to contribute and or sign up on the behalf of an organization? So sometimes people want to give as their company. This is asking you how would they input the information. We're just going to use the new organization profile. so that they will create an organization and we'll have that contact in our database. Introductory message. By the way, if you're wondering why my editor looks different from yours, it's because I went to administer, customize data and screens, and went to display preferences, and there's an option in there that you can change the default WYSIWYG editor. Just a aside, footer message. We'll just see where it would show up. Goal amount, like I was saying, that you can have a set goal to end by a date, but this is just going to be our generic contributions page, our generic, oh, please donate to our organization. Use a confirmation page. If you don't have a confirmation page, then the second they hit donate, then it will it'll process the payment, and that'll be the end of it. It's considered a good form to be able to give people, you know, an out in case they change their mind at the last second. And yes, it is active, and yes, we definitely want to allow them to share through social media. Now that you got your basic information, it's time to set the amount options. So the first thing you do is click Dummy Processor. Like we said when we were setting up the payment processor, that you can have any number of ways that people can pay money on your website, but you have to make sure that you actually link that thing up. So there's two options for how to allow people to donate on this type of page. Either you can have a preset menu of different donation amounts. It's called a price set. If you wanted to make a custom price set, you would just go to Contributions, New Price Set. But for the purposes of this one, we're going to make it possible for them to enter in their own amount. So you just go to the bottom and allow other amounts. We'll say that the minimum donation is $5 and the maximum donation will be $10,000. That's wishful thinking, I know, but that's fine. There's other pretty interesting options here on this page, like recurring contributions. If you check this, then if your payment processor supports it, then people can choose to donate the same amount every X amount of days, weeks, months, or every year. So if they wanted to sign up for your best friend level of donations, that is, they want to be in a cool contributor club, then they can check the month box, and every 1 month their account will be charged for the amount that they specify. So checking the options, you can read those on your own. But this is important. What is this? Contributions amounts label. Contribution amount. That's just what's going to show up next to the box where they input the money that they want to give. So we'll say donation amount, or it can say how much you want to give. And that's good for now. Let's save it to next. Membership, that really doesn't apply for this one, so let's just move on to receipt. You notice that this interface is a lot like Civi Events. So after they've given their money, then it'll open up we want to open up a thank you page to thank you for their generosity. This is the title. Just thank you message. No need to overdo it. An email, receipt to the contributor. I don't even know why this is an option. It is so obvious that this is essential. But yes, if they're giving you money, they're absolutely going to want to get a receipt from you. Like they need to write this off on their taxes, that kind of thing. So I think this is the from. I need to check the from email. I can't remember. It's been a while. Okay, there's my default from email for this website. There we go. So it says thanks, but it will also have all the information about the donation that they just made. So we'll see that once this is all done. Next, tell a friend. So on the, enable it for them to just click a button and tweet it out, or Facebook, or, create a Google Plusy, or whatever happens on Google Plus. Self-explanatory. So profiles, as you remember from Civi events, are basically the bits of information that you want to gather on an individual or an organization. So things like first name, last name, phone number, email address, birthday. If you happen to run an ice cream nonprofit, then their favorite type of ice cream. Basically, you just need to choose which of these profiles you want to include in the donation form, so that when this person donates, we will create a record of them in the Civi CRM database, or it will update their record if they are an existing person. So we'll just use new individual and call that a day. Premiums, which we won't get into in this video, is basically rewards for giving a specific amount. So somebody who gives $20 can be in the Cool Buds price tier, and they'll get a pair of branded socks. Someone who gives $100 will get to come and have lunch at your office, something like that. But again, we'll deal with those in another video. Same thing with the sharing widget. That requires a bit more care, and so we'll talk about that later. So that means that we're done here. Well, now that we've got our donation page created, we actually need to add it to a page. So here on WordPress, we're going to add a new page. And we'll call this donation page. And Civi CRM has this nice little button here next to the media. And so we'll select a contribution page. Donate to Ice Cream for Peace, that's the contribution page that we made. We'll make it live. And so override page content means that no matter what you have here in the content area of this page or post, it will get superseded by this page. Don't override means that you can put stuff at the top, and I'll show you that. So this will all show up, but there's something very important that we got to talk about right here, and this is a bug that I came up with, that I encountered when I was making this video, and it was basically that when I went to select the front edge form from here, that contribution page was not an option. All I had was event pages, profiles, and user dashboards. I really don't understand why that happened, but in case that happens to you, don't panic. There's a very simple workaround, and we'll have it written in the lesson so that you don't have to go through looking for this in the video. But basically, if that happens to you, if you hit Civi CRM and contribution page is nowhere to be found, then all you need to do is just write this short code, and that will kick Civi in its butt and make it remember what it's supposed to be doing. And so all it is just this, exactly as you see it. Civi CRM component equals contribution ID equals the ID of the contribution page. I had a donation page before this. This was just a tester that I used to test run, and before I did this. That's right, I actually do prepare, whether it seems like it or not. So ID2 is the page that we want. It's live. Hijack equals 0. Hijack just means, do you want it to override the page content? So this may happen to you, it may not. If it does, this is the solution. And contribution pages should start showing up after that. So we'll publish, and let's see what it looks like. There we go. Isn't it beautiful? Now, since I'm already logged in. We'll do this incognitus. So remember that how much you want to give? That we decided that we wanted to allow the user to state how much they wanted to give. So they're feeling generous in giving $999. And they want to do it every month. So email address, something, oh, gotta complete that. Card number. A neat thing about the dummy payment processor is that you can actually make payments to yourself through it. It gives you dummy numbers to use for it. So you can find this at the CiviCRM handbook. You just go to payment processors and it's here at the bottom. That it's a Visa card, it's a 4 and then a whole bunch of 1s. The security code is any 3 digits you want. And the expiration date just needs to be later than it is right now, and that is not that, so 2018. You just got to put in your fake information. This would be real if it was a real person. Yes, we'll say that he's Italian. I mean, yes, American. Yes, Rome, California. Confirm contribution. Oh, there's that footer text that we talked about. So this was the introductory text that we created. There was the contribution amount text that we got. So we're all good. Let's confirm that. Please verify your information carefully. So remember that we checked that we wanted to have a confirmation page because it would be bad form to not give them a second chance to review what they said, what they thought they were giving. Like maybe they added an extra 9. Like, oh, turns out that Scipio didn't actually want to give $999. You know, it's silly to think that he did. He actually wants to give $9,999. You know, just like you got a powerful attack in Final Fantasy. So, reviewing all this information, it all looks good. Let's go ahead and make that contribution. Your contribution has been submitted to Dummy Processor for processing. Please print this page. So they can print this page. They can also tell a friend. They can do a plussy, a like, a tweet. Tell their friends on the Twitters, share it on LinkedIn. Very helpful for your campaigns. So let's take a look at the confirmation email. It should have gotten to me. Okay, so there's the email we got. As you can see, we got the full receipt. They can put this away in their records, and we're good. And oh, look, they can even tweet or like it. So that's how you do donations.